You're watching The Ugly Inside. Subscribe below.
Welcome to our big match preview as Saints prepare to take on West Brom at home on New Year's Eve. Looking to finish the year with a bang and looking to bounce back from Wednesday's defeat against Tottenham. So to help me preview the game, I have a special guest joining me this time and to help us understand what to expect from the Baggies on Saturday. I'm joined by West Brom fan Alex. Welcome to the show, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. Thanks. Good. Great to be here.
First of all, we briefly met sort of last season, and at the time you weren't really you weren't very happy under the Pulis appointment. But let's talk about him first of all. Perhaps not the most popular choice, but looks like he's bringing a group of misfits to finally perform together. I think anybody that watches the Premier League football knows his brand of football. So what's it like really to watch West Brom at the moment, mate?
So for the first 18 months of Pulis being here, it was exactly what you'd expect from his time at Stoke. But in fairness to him, his remit was ensure Jeremy Peace still had a Premier League club to sell last summer and summer before that. And ultimately he managed to do that. His other part of his job was, we'd gone through 3 managers, new directors of football, new scouts, and a lot of the players we'd brought in over the previous 18 months had been quite poor. So we'd had to do a lot of squad recycling. So I guess the first 18 months, it was frustrating, it was hard to watch, but do you know what he delivered? This year, the main hope was that he would actually show that he could progress us past a point he didn't manage to do with Stoke. And, we could actually, first and foremost, improve the style of play and then start to look upwards as opposed to constantly aiming for 40 points.
Like you said, you're starting to improve, and perhaps some people would say maybe you're overperforming at the moment. From what I've seen, you look like you're a strong defensive unit, and which is what we expect from a Pulis team. You're scoring goals with Rondon, and you're winning important games at home. But ultimately, every away game is almost a carbon copy of each other. It's 10 men behind the ball. And do you know what? It was interesting to hear Giroud last week picking up on your 6-3-1 formation at the Emirates. Would it be fair to say we might expect the same on Saturday at St Mary's?
No. So, the 6-3-1 formation's a little bit OTT. Start of the season, we were a solid defensive unit, but funnily enough, we haven't kept many clean sheets. We are still leaking goals every now and again. I would say that Pulis has tried to make us a bit more progressive. We've now got an attacking outlet. Previously when we've had kind of turnovers of play, we haven't got the ball forward quick enough, and Rondon's been an isolated figure. We're actually showing in the last kind of few months that we've now got a bit of support for him. And whilst we are still pretty miserly at the back, there is a little bit more to our team than just a flat back six.
Do you know what I find most interesting is that Gareth McCauley is still playing at the age of, 37 now? He's probably one of your best players in your squad behind Rondon.
Gareth McCauley is ultimately, he's a fine wine. He just gets better and better with age. It's interesting that, every single summer he gets written off by our fans in that, surely it'll be McCauley's final year. I think he's on his second one-year extension, and the guy will play into his 40s, getting better and better. And the thing is, if you actually look at his stats, he's practically up there with Van Dijk. He just is 15 years older.
And I think he's your second top high scorer as well, along with Chadley as well.
And here I am trying to say that we're not all about set pieces and defending. B-Mac's one of our top scorers.
Having said all that, then, so personally, I think it might be a case of deja vu for you on Saturday, with perhaps the home team having large spells of possession. But we can't be complacent. And so, who would you say? Who do you think would line up for West Brom on Saturday, and which players in particular should we need to keep quiet?
So the big question will be whether he plays Morrison behind Rondon or whether he sticks with Chadley. Morrison comes in, will be a totally different side than if Chadley's there. Morrison in that free role gets us up the field. He orchestrates a lot of our attacks. He has a good understanding with Brunt, and if we play Morrison in the hole, you'll see a much more different West Bromwich Albion. If we play Chadley in the hole, he's still kind of trying to find his feet. He's scoring goals and he's taking chances, but his all-round play, he hasn't really been contributing that much. So I think we'll see, depending on what Pulis does with the number 10, will really influence kind of what you have to look out for with us. But the main danger man would be Matty Phillips, who's having an outstanding season after a couple of ropey games at the start.
You know what? He's impressed me as well, especially for a player that's been pretty much a journeyman for most of his career.
He's got a lot of ability, and Pulis said that he's a massive confidence player. Once he gets one goal, you'll see him score 3 or 4 in the next few games. Then he'll go off the boil for a few months, and then he'll find a bit of form again. It looks like he's gone a bit wobbly at the moment, but all it takes is kind of one moment of magic, and if he gets the ball around the box, he'll create something.
Let's wrap things up then, mate. Finally, let's have a score prediction.
1-1.
Do you know what? I think West Brom would be happy with that. Would you be happy with a 1-1 draw?
I think the 1-1 would be okay. We haven't had a lot of luck at St Mary's, so we've had a couple of defeats on the road recently, so a point would be a decent way to start to finish the year.
Well, Alex, thanks for joining, mate. You've been great. Of course, let us know your comments in below, what your predictions are for the game. And as always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more. Thanks, Alex.
No problem.